You got your
busy, flying a lot, having fun.
Let's work backwards a little bit. Last night, Devin Haney put on a hell of a show.
Yeah, impressive.
Yo, JJ.
Best stars in boxing.
You know what I thought last night? You know what I thought? I thought that, yeah, I got a good one. 20 years old. You know how good he can be, still fighting sounds, still humble.
20 years old, 23 and 0. Impressive. He's got so much more to come as well. It's only just getting started.
Just getting started. Now let's talk. Oh, you got to walk. You got to leave with Eddie.
No, I don't.
Okay. Talk about what's next for Kell Brook. Are you guys going to try and get that Terrence Crawford fight, or is that not a reality?
That was one he was looking at. He's back in the gym now. You know, you saw recently he's back in the gym. I think in the stage of his career he's at now, he only wants the big fight. So,
because you guys said you're coming back. You guys said you're coming back in December. So would that make sense for him? Because you got a December 14th date.
I'm not sure if he'll be fighting this side of the year just yet. I mean, but he's back in training, early days. We'll see what happens. But as I say, stage of his career, he only wants big fights.
And what's the status of the stadium in Saudi Arabia?
It's going to be unbelievable, spectacular. Plans look unreal. The build has started. It's going to be special. We've done lots of events. We've been lucky enough to do events all around the world and big events, big stages, and that's something special. Creating something new from ground up.
What was your reaction when you heard Anthony Joshua's trainer saying that AJ was concussed in the third round? Being that with the steroids issue, 2 fighters dying about 2 months ago.
But I don't know how you really know whether someone it's a fight, isn't it? And people go through stages in fights where maybe they're not as receptive, but that's just you've seen so many fighters come back from being put down and then coming back and getting the win. And I don't think I'm not a doctor, so I don't personally know exactly, but that is the sport we're in, where fighters get put down with heavy blows, and they he carried on for 4 more rounds. So he was obviously there to do that. Otherwise, how do you do it? I mean, I've been hit once or twice, and I'm not an athlete, but I think it's just people take bits and pieces of what they want. Bits of information that everyone's got their own agenda from bits and pieces of information that comes out, and it's easy as well to say. I think after a fight to say, oh, looking back, he may have been this or he may have been concussed. When you're in the heat at the moment, I don't know how you know that personally. Yeah. The only person who can really know that is him himself, I think, or a doctor afterwards who can look at it and say this is what happened.
What was the hiccup in the negotiations? Because went back and forth behind the scenes. Joshua.
Ruiz. I don't think it was so much hiccup. It was just things that had to be ironed out. For an event of this size, there's a lot of details that have to be put together, and everything got there in the end. It was just, we said, lots of details to work through, but no issues, all good. And it's going to be, I think it's the fight of the year. I think it's the biggest fight out there.
It is the biggest fight of the year. 100%, I agree with you.
Used to this LA sun, is it?
Used to rain, right? What exactly is your role with Matchroom? People were asking me, and I was like, I really don't know. I know everyone has titles, but what exactly is your role for Matchroom?
I'm the CEO of Matchroom Boxing, so I oversee our group businesses. Like everything we do. So I work under Eddie, worked for him for 12 years, and run our operations all over the world. Allegedly.
So Devin Haney will be on this card November 9th?
Yeah, looking at it, that's the plan. Devin Haney on here, obviously boxed great, unbelievable last night, and it's the right audience for him, right demographic.
Young.
If there's anyone who's going to turn these fans into boxing fans or fans of a character, he's one of the people to do it. Sure. He's the right demographic. He's 20 years old. You saw the people with the kids, the age of the people here today, all the way from 10, 12 up to 25, 26, so that's what we need to do. We need to retain these fans who are going to come on board to watch this. And there's been a lot of pushback on this, but I think it's great. I think anything that brings eyeballs to something, isn't that brilliant for what we do? For you.
Well, you're the promoter. So
but even for you.
Yeah.
So this is going to be probably one of the highest viewed boxing fight sport events there is. For whatever
on YouTube, definitely.
No,
on
YouTube. But design
it's
huge.
It's a new TV.
It's huge. But whether you think they're fighters or boxers, they're getting in there, they're having a fight, and if you watch the first one, they were very decent level. Like you compare that to a lot of the fights.
First couple rounds was good.
Yeah, it was
I
good.
haven't watched it yet, but I heard.
So, you know, people, not everyone's happy with it. Fair enough, everyone can have their opinion, but I think these guys, you know, hopefully bring a whole new audience to the sport, which is good for all of us. Good for you, good for me, good for everyone.
How about Tyson Fury? What's your thoughts on Tyson Fury?
He's fucking brilliant, isn't it?
You think he's
Well, like, as a character, he is.
I'm going to say I'm going to agree with you on the character part. I'm not
No, he is
But
though.
go ahead, talk
He is
about
though,
it.
isn't he? He's a brilliant character. He's done ever so well for himself, and he's good for the sport. I think someone said to me last night about, you know, his fight hasn't got as much pickup in the US, but he's a Brit coming to fight in America. So you're never going to get as much. If you're not a homegrown American, like you're not going to get as much pickup, are you?
It feels like it's declining though, because they said Eddie Hearn said you're a part.
Deontay Wilder's not even a. No one knows him. Barely anyone knows Deontay Wilder here.
I'm going to disagree with that. He had 17,000 in that arena in December.
No, he didn't.
December 2nd.
He didn't.
I was there.
He
That was
didn't.
the official attendance.
But he didn't. They released the attendance. It was something like 14,000. They gave a load of those away.
About 17,000. I did something on it, but we're not going to talk about it.
We had this conversation before, and we
because
get
you're an
on a lot
expert.
better now.
Because you're an
I am.
expert.
I'm
You're an expert on ticket
I'm an
sales.
expert within that market.
So that's why I'm going to ask you.
It's the only thing I'm an expert.
He's declining. He had 5,000. Your partner said he has 1,500. So it looks like he's declining in this American market. And Eddie Hearn said that they maxed out their budget on Tyson Fury, and they're basically giving.
I don't think he's anything on Tyson Fury, if you know what I mean.
So I'm listening.
Because he does everything he needs to, because he's hilarious and he sells it. You know, I think it's more on the fact that, you know, they're not. I think you should box in the UK, but they're trying to build back up to that Wilder Fury fight, which the first one didn't do great numbers. Let's be honest, it was for the heavyweight championship of the world. Couldn't even sell out in America.
300,000 pay-per-views and
Allegedly.
17,000 people.
Allegedly.
Well, everyone inflates their pay-per-views.
It's like me saying I'm 6'3".
It's like we're having a conversation. It's like the Zone doesn't release their subscribers, right?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So it's like everyone embellishes everything.
So if they say 300,000, what you're saying is probably 200,000.
No, not 200, but let's say
210.
250. Let's keep it
211.
250. So let's say you did 500,000 buys, new buys. It's probably 400,000, 350. You know what I mean? Everyone lies. You know what I mean? The girl says, "Are you a man?" Yeah, I'm the greatest man you probably ever meet. You know what I mean? So it's
You may say that.
it's all relative.
You know what? I think it's also the American boxing market and I've said this for so many years has been ruined, like mistreated, and not delivered on promises. I think. You know, there's been one real star overall, and that's been Mayweather. You know, and away from that, no one's been selling tickets. No one's been doing huge audiences, and that's what we're here to change. But it takes more than a couple of months, 6 months. You know, but we're in a great position. When you think we've along with the Zone, been going for a year here. I think we're building. We're building. Ticket sales are picking up. You know, but the whole thing. But like the sport in the US as well, we're seeing ticket sales improve. We're seeing fan engagement improve. So it takes time. But I think, as I say, it's the overall way the sport's been treated over the years, in my opinion.
Fans are all.
I mean, I'm right.
And damn near every sport. You know what I mean? And since
But
boxing,
it's $80. How are you supposed to make that into a sport that everyone can afford and everyone is accessible to when you're doing 10 pay-per-views a year? Who's got that money?
No, you're right.
Like day to day to spend that money. In the UK, like it's different. Like that pay-per-view market's completely different in the UK, where it's $24.
I heard that.
You know, so you can't really compare it.
Yeah, it's but it also are these fights pay-per-view worthy? You understand what I'm saying? So that's up for debate.
But it's that balance, isn't it, between pay-per-view worthy and needing of pay-per-view to actually make the fight.
Sure.
So the fight doesn't actually. So some of these fights that you see on pay-per-view, they don't happen without the pay-per-view element. So you would never see them anyway.
Some of them, right? Like
Do you know what I mean?
Terrence Crawford,
Yeah.
Amir Khan, maybe. You know what I mean? Some people debate other pay-per-views, but what are some adjustments you guys gonna make moving forward in terms of the Zone and Matchroom and embracing the American market?
I think, you know, a big thing for me personally is the live event. You know, improving the live event, improving the live gate, focusing on that. Too many years people have just been worried about them X $1 million they're getting from a TV broadcast and make $100,000, they're happy, great, don't do any more work. Ours is let's not get complacent. Let's keep building. Let's keep working on this and keep growing it. So
how do you improve it? Like,
I think in a country where you do, I'm not going to give them all away,
okay.
but in a country where you do things so well, sports, NBA, NFL, hockey, baseball, etc. I'm not a massive fan of these sports. I'm not a massive fan of soccer anymore in the UK. But I go to these events and I sit there and I think, do you know what? This is entertaining. I don't know what I'm watching. I don't know who's playing for the Knicks or the Rangers or this team or.
I spend a lot of time in New York, I see.
I do, but that's like for me. I go and I'm still entertained.
You know why? One of the biggest reasons is because there's an ending to everything that you just mentioned. Like we know that there's going to be a championship in basketball. We know that the Super Bowl is coming. We know that the NCAA Final Four is coming. In boxing, we hope and pray that we get Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. We hope and pray that we get Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. There's no like guarantee. There's no roadmap. You understand? So I think so with that we expect ending. In boxing, there's no ending. So like if a promoter was smart enough, I don't know how you do it, but kind of like PBC is trying to train us in our mind. Like we got the Final Four at 154, the Final Four at 147. So it's like, oh man, the winner's gonna fight Manny Pacquiao for undisputed. You know what I mean? And then potentially fight Terrence Crawford. You know, so I think that plays a part. And you guys got to have one of the biggest chips in Anthony Joshua. Like I think
still is.
Well, he got to win.
But he's still one of the biggest stars in this sport.
He's definitely one of the biggest stars in this sport.
I think a lot of people, and this is just my opinion, in boxing, respect what he's done for the sport of boxing, like boxers.
In your country.
Yeah. But even
in our
over here,
country, we kind of don't like him.
But he's done more than a lot of American boxers have done, even when he came here.
Yeah, from that side, yeah, but I'm talking about just the likability factor. Like, but from your pragmatic standpoint, he actually has done a lot for the sport. He's brought money to the sport.
But he's brought fans back to the sport as well, which is good for everyone.
June 1st was a great day for boxing. You know what I mean? In terms of the event.
Yeah. Andy Ruiz became an overnight sensation. Congrats to him.
Yeah, I should have put a promotional deal in the contract. Yeah, that's what y'all missed out on. Y'all missed out on that. Y'all should have said, like every promoter does, like Don King used to do. He always walks out with the winner. You know what I mean? Y'all didn't walk out with the winner that
night. Be walking back out with a winner on December 7th.
but so assuming he wins, he said he's going to fight. He says that I know you can't speak for Anthony Joshua, but he said that he's going to go fight a bum because basically Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury are freezing him out. You're on the business side of that. Is that true from the business perspective, or is that just hearsay?
Maybe him being a bit sarcastic as well, saying that's what these other guys are doing. You know, he is 100% focused on his initial goal, which is December 7th. And that is what he needs to be. There can't be any focus anywhere else. There can't be any thought about next fight because everything has to be on December 7th. Obviously, our job is to think beyond that. But for him, he's the one getting in the ring. He's the one who's got to go in there and do the job on December 7th. And the best way for him to do that is going and focus. And that's what he's doing.
Do you think that since he's done a hell of a job in terms of promoting in two countries, do you think that the zone and Matchroom takes a big hit if he loses the second time, or what's his comeback? I know you don't want to think about that, but just from a business perspective, you got to think about both sides of the coin.
Yeah, but that's for us to think about in the background. But we believe he goes and wins that fight. You know, and then this sport as well is, unfortunately, you can't plan out 10 years ahead. Otherwise, like you say, you would have made Deontay Wilder goes here, this fight goes here, this fight goes here, all being well, and then undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, and then we retire. Great. Yeah. It's unlike any other sport, like you say. You know, the Knicks are going to go and play the Nets. Is that right?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. And you know that's going to happen a few times.
Yes.
And it's going to go round and round.
Yes.
That's not what we've got here. But our job is to carry on building, carry on growing the sport overall, and that's what we'll carry on doing.
You know what I learned? And stop me when you're ready to go. Because I only talk to you once or twice a year. You know what I mean? Not being rude, but I will. No,
I
know that. I know that. Did you just
and also, I might melt in this in this heat.
You know what I learned watching that fight is y'all got to get paid. Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, assuming you win, that fight has to happen. Because if Andy Ruiz can knock him off as a 13-1 underdog, if you miss the boat this time, you know what I mean, quite possibly it may never come back. It's going to be hard to
but
bring
it
it
has
back.
to make sense for everyone as well. You know, it has to make sense for everyone involved. Not meaning up, but the fighters. And we represent one half of that. So all we care about is our guy, because that's our job.
Was there any other? When did the negotiations stop for Deontay Wilder?
I can't remember. It was a while ago, obviously now, wasn't it? So I can't even remember, to be honest. I wouldn't lie to you and state it, but it's been very public.
Were you? Yeah, it was. Were you disappointed he turned down 120 million?
Again, we only represent one half.
I'm just getting your perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's crazy.
I'm trying to humanize this interview.
If you say he turned down $120 million, I think that's crazy. There you go.
Well, because I'm going to play devil's advocate since we're here. Because if Anthony Joshua goes pay-per-view and you do 1.3 million here, and you sell the international rights, everybody walks away with $50 million. The fighters.
Well, he's getting 120.
Huh? No, that's for 3 fights. But you get 50 with the rematch. You only got to fight twice for the 120.
My personal opinion is, if he turned down $120 million, to turn down that amount of money is crazy.
He'll be stuck though now too, because with the rematch, maybe he gets.
But he can't even sell out this place here, in his home country.
Well, I mean,
I know we disagree on that.
He has 17,000 people there.
I have actually got to go, not because we got onto that comment. But good to talk to you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Good to see you, man.
When you leaving?
In 2.5 hours.
Oh, y'all going to Vegas? Or y'all not going to the zone fight?
No, I got to get back.
Okay.
Otherwise, my girlfriend.
What do you think of Derek Chisora, by the way?
Derek Chisora, he's brilliant, isn't he?
Is he brilliant?
Again, he's great for the sport.
Did y'all?
It's characters. It's what this sport needs. It's like that.
Yeah, I'll walk with you.
It's different.
That's fine.
I'm walking over there.
Yeah. You got to give me Eddie too.
I don't know where it is.
Y'all in my city.
Your city?
Yeah, that's my city, man. It's my city.
Thank you. Cheers.
Derek Chisora.
Derek Chisora, brilliant for again, another person who's brilliant for the sport. What he's done in his career. No, he's lost fights in his career, but he's always come back.
Always in.
Because he's got great value, and he always gives 100%.
He's definitely the roller coaster of boxing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even when he loses, it's sensational.
I think you just got to respect that, the fact that he's come back to these big, huge fights time and time again.
Okay.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
And again, great for the sport.
And how's Dillian White B sample doing?
Dillian White news. See you later, lads. I'll speak to you in a bit. Yeah. Dillian White news soon. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on. People can't judge before they know any facts.
Okay, thank you.